All right, well, let's get this party started. Wasn't on too long over there, but I thought we would do a little more in the way of questions and answers over here. I try to get to your questions the best that I can. Hopefully you got your notifications turned on. Hopefully you're following the YouTube page and you're following my page over here on Facebook, and you got your notifications on. So far, you know me, if you watch me and you follow weather, types of situations sometimes is it has a hard time determining, and it might give us an idea. To me, it looks like it's out to lunch. I mean, it has hardly anything over us at all. And if you've heard me here, I've talked about this some, that the NAM model usually is useless unless it isn't. And I believe in this. I'm sorry, I'm moving my camera around here a little bit. In this situation, I believe that the NAM model is not a very good model with this particular situation. All right, so what we're going to do, golly, the numbers went down to 173. We were at 258, now down to 170. And I haven't even got to the good stuff. Am I boring you that much? All right, so let's take a look at it here. So here's our, this is the HER model. Let's tell you what, before I show you precipitation type, let's go to what's called composite reflectivity. This is what the radar itself would look like if you take the colors off of it. And what I want you to pay attention to, look at after midnight, how things begin to unfold. Here we are, right around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We got showers trying to break out, even some thunderstorms across southwestern parts of Texas here. Look at how everything just blows up. Here we are right after sunrise. Areas of heavy precipitation showing up across most of our area. Thunderstorms across central and south Texas. In fact, you're going to see a pretty good line of thunderstorms develop down closer to Houston. And those could be some severe storms down close. This is a very energetic storm system, and there could be some severe storms with damaging winds and tornadoes across deep southeast Texas over into the Gulf Coast states tomorrow afternoon and evening. Now, we're on you can see the comma shape to it. We're on the cold side of the storm. And with us being on the cold side of the storm, that gives us the opportunity to see the precipitation change over to some snow. But as you can see here in the afternoon, you can see the precipitation. You can see those reds and those oranges and those yellows, and that would represent heavy precipitation falling. So and not only are do we need to be focused on the fact that we're getting a chance for some snow tomorrow, that may wind up being less of a big deal than the fact that we're just getting good moisture, and it's moisture that we need. It's precipitation that we need. It's going to really soak into the ground. We could see perhaps maybe over an inch of rain or precipitation with this, and that's not just snow. I'm just talking about liquid equivalent over an inch, which is certainly something that we need. It's not going to fill up the lakes or the creeks or whatnot, but it's certainly going to be good for the wheat crop. So that's a look at what we would consider composite reflectivity. But as far as precipitation types, I'm not a real big fan of this site here. I think that the color sometimes can be, but it gives me a chance to kind of zoom in. So here we are at about, this would be 12Z, which would be at 6 a.m. Now remember, what we're having to deal with here is the storm center itself is creating the cold air. It's not like you walk outside and we have bitterly cold Arctic air in place. The storm center itself, with these big upper level systems, even in the springtime, up there about cloud level, the temperatures are really, really cold underneath them. But most of the time that air is aloft, and especially if you're in a situation where you're seeing sunshine outside, you won't even know that it's real cold. The only thing you'll see is maybe an imbalance in the atmosphere. You'll see some puffy cumulus clouds or maybe some showers that develop underneath them. Sometimes you can get hail underneath them in the winter and springtime, spring and summertime. But in this situation, you got this pocket of cold air, you've got this big storm center that's developing and pushing across the area. You got moisture, thunderstorms, heavy rain to the southeast, and it feeds back into that cold air and gets underneath that pocket. And you have a lot of lift underneath there, so you get some areas of heavy precipitation. So as that heavy precipitation falls, it pulls that cold air and stretches it down to the Earth's surface. So 5,000 feet, the temperatures are below freezing. You can even go about 2,000 feet, temperatures are below freezing. Then you get below that, and unless you got something to pull it down there, temperatures will jump up to 5, 10 degrees warmer at the Earth's surface. But then if you throw precipitation in there in the form of snow, melting snowflakes, then all of a sudden you start pulling that cold air down to the Earth's surface, and the harder the snow falls, the more the temperature falls, and the more it can add up. So tomorrow is probably one of those situations where before it snows, we won't even be below freezing, and the only time we would get below freezing is if we saw a burst of heavier snow. And then it's a situation where if you wind up getting precipitation that's light, then it may change back over to rain. So here we are at just a little after sunrise. This is going to be about 9 a.m. You can see most of the western parts of our area seeing snow. There's some indication with the high-resolution computer models here that we're going to see a transition to snow during the morning, or at least by midday into Wichita Falls. But again, this might be a situation where we initially see it mix with or change over to snow, and then we could perhaps mix back with some rain or even change over to rain as the precipitation gets lighter. And then we get the wraparound effect. That's the wraparound snows on the backside of it, which are typically lighter, but can be enough to still produce some accumulations before it ends tomorrow evening. By the way, if you're in northwest Arkansas, you're going to probably get some pretty good snows up that way too out of this system. And then you jump into the Missouri and up into Illinois. So that's the latest from the HER model. That was actually the 0Z run, or the 6 p.m. run. I'm going to look at an update here in a minute. But this is what it was doing with snowfall accumulations. And I haven't changed mine. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. And I've got to get ready for the newscast here in a minute. But you can see the HER model into tomorrow evening still wants to go with about 10 inches of snow back into the northwestern parts of Texas, southwest Oklahoma, 4.1 in Lawton, 6.5 in the falls. You know, this is actually a pretty consistent forecast with what the European model has been showing. Not too far off of what the GFS. And like I say, I'm not even showing you the NAM. It's garbage. I don't think it's going to be even close to being accurate. It's too warm and it's not very wet. So I don't think that's going to be a very good forecast. So we're not going to show it. Actually, the 3K now was pretty good. The regular version of it's not very good. So that's still some possibilities. And it even shows over into Clay County and Jefferson County and Stevens County getting into some of that good heavier snowfall. So we'll see what happens. Let's look at the latest run of it. Let's see if it's out. But this run only goes out for 18 hours, but that might be all we need. Or we'll get kind of at least have an idea of what the latest versions of it is showing as far as into tomorrow morning or early afternoon. I don't think there's going to be big changes with it though. So, you know, there's change with precipitation. Still shows that area out west, or right, a little after sunrise, changing over. And then it has, by midday, perhaps a bit of a transition. See, even this run's not even that gung-ho with it. So we'll see what happens. As far as my forecast goes, and I know a lot of people want to know what their town's going to look like and whatnot, but you know, if basically I'm covering everybody right now. This is your forecast here. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. All right, so if you give me a second here. How y'all like my little T-Rex there I have? All right, so there is my forecasted snowfall amounts there. Again, it has not changed. I'm not going to move it. I'm going to leave it exactly where it's at. Now, somebody with this situation is going to be real happy with, I'm talking about some people who love snow, are going to be real happy with that forecast. Whereas others will not be very happy with that forecast. I continue with 4 to 6 here in Wichita Falls, but I would not be surprised if we saw less than that. I kind of have us on the border of it. But I think we will see some snow, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I say, I'm going to keep us there, and we'll make some adjustments as needed. I think the best chances at seeing that 4 to 6 range will be out towards Childress, Altus, Vernon, Quanah, Kroll, Seymour, and then maybe kind of west of Lawton. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens across the rest of the area. But at least that's what I'm thinking for now. And if you look, here is the computer model forecast. This is from the off the 0Z run of the HER model. it does have that area of darker blue and some little light white colors there over towards Kroll, Vernon, and in those areas. As far as impacts tomorrow, of course, there will be heavy snow, heavy wet snow. That means that most of the roadways will be wet. Any accumulations will mostly be on grassy and elevated surfaces like your house, rooftop, your car top, those kind of things, and it'll be melting because the temperatures underneath it are real warm. It's going to take a lot of snow falling in order for that to bring those temperatures down. Very complex situation. So I do go with a high threat for some heavy snow in some areas. There's already been some closings and whatnot, but I just don't know that there should be. Maybe out west, but here in the Falls, I don't think there should be. I think the WFISD made a good call. Burke Burnett made a good call. Area schools have made a good call on not closing because I think this is a situation where I don't think you have to close. We'll see what happens for Wednesday. There are some areas that are delaying, which I don't agree with the whole delay thing. I think if you're you just cancel it if you're not going to if you're going to delay it, because the bulk of the activity will come in later in the morning anyway when you be going to school. So why even delay? I don't understand that. But I don't make those calls. That's just me thinking out loud. Travel, at least in this burst of heavier snows, will become a little treacherous with slush on the roadways. Power could become a problem. Power outages can't totally be ruled out with heavy snow, wet snows as well. But overall, I just don't think that this is going to be a high impact travel type system since the temperatures are not that cold. I've seen it before this happen, and we only wind up seeing the grassy areas get snow and everything, the roads remain just wet. And it could happen that way. Very, very easily could happen that way. So, all right, well, let's see what we have here, question-wise. I don't know why that didn't transition. Let's go to... All right, so let's try to answer some questions here. All right. Let's see here. All right, so we did have a nice bit of viewership there. Thank you guys for watching me here. All right, so the roads will be slushy, especially the further west you go, and those bursts of heavier snow. But after it quits snowing, whatever were the stick on the roads would probably melt off pretty fast, but that can still create some messes. So just be careful. And this is the kind of snow you can build a snowman in. This is the kind of snow that packs real good because it's so wet. And I understand, Jennifer, but I do believe, again, that the roads are mostly going to be wet, maybe a little slushy. So do y'all want me to get rid of the dinosaur? I can. I will if you don't like it. It's just something that comes with this new platform I'm streaming on. It's called Streamlabs, and it's just something there. So I can get rid of it, though, and do away with it. We don't have to have it up. I don't have to have it up at all, actually. If y'all want me to get rid of it, I will. Some people like it, some people don't. Yeah, I agree. Any moisture is certainly welcome there. I don't know if Lawton may, and again, Lawton, you're another one of those areas to get 6+. It may wind up being just west of you. I'm gonna keep you in that 4 to 6 inch range, but the worst of it may be west. This is a really, really tough one to forecast. No snow later on in the week. And it's something I really haven't talked about much. It looks really cold as we head towards February. I think really cold. And we could see some more winter precipitation with that. I don't know that it's going to be as cold as it was a couple of years ago, but it certainly looks cold. February has been our cold month as of late, and it looks like this year will be too. I don't think so, Joey and Graham. Matter of fact, you may miss out on a lot of the snow down there. You're going to get some, but I don't think so. I don't think you'll be even tomorrow night, temperatures might drop below freezing, but not by that much. There may be a little black ice on Wednesday morning, but it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I haven't heard that WFISD did close, Joey. They may have. If they have, just let me know. I don't know. Burke Burnett, again, you could get 4 to 6, but you may wind up being in more than that 1 to 3 inch range. And again, Miss Alexandra, I don't know that we're going to get. I do continuous in that 4 to 6 inch range, but we'll have to just kind of wait and see. Of course, I'll have the latest updates, but coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. But I'll be honest about it. You get probably better information right here than you're going to get on the news. You know, I only got 3 minutes, 4 minutes to talk on the news. Here, I can talk as much as I want to. I can get as technical as I want to. So, you know, and I do think we can get over an inch of rain, maybe even 2 inches of rain out of this. It looks great, rain-wise. I'm glad you like my dinosaur. I'll keep him then. We'll name him T-Rex. Okay, so WFISD is still on. Somebody said Trent Gonzalez, hashtag keep the dino. I got to get ready for the newscast here, so I have to do what's called the topical coming up here in a minute. So I will be doing that. Of course, tomorrow, the way we're covering things will be, I'm actually coming in to do the noon show tomorrow. There may not be much going on then. You know, we'll just kind of play it by ear, but Garrett will be here in the morning, and I'll certainly be here in the afternoon, and we'll have the tracker out, and we'll be doing coverage with that, and of course we'll rely on what you guys are reporting where you are too, and maybe I can even take some live video with you here on Facebook, because I can do that now. I can bring you on, and you can have your video live with me right here. So I'll do coverage tomorrow on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll be looking for some videos. I'll put those out there too later on this evening to you know, just so you can have it when you get up in the morning, a little update. And I'll do an update before I come into work. It won't be as in-depth as this, but I'll do a quick update before I come into work in the morning, so you'll have that. I do like chocolate, Lindsay. I love chocolate. Matter of fact, I had some. I went to the chocolate soiree on Friday night. I ate a bunch of chocolate, and I made some Oreo balls. I know that's kind of a Christmas thing, but my wife wanted me to make her some Oreo balls, so I made her some Oreo balls, and I had some for dessert tonight. Friendswood and League City. What's going on, Friendswood and League City? Let me know what's going on in Friendswood and League City. You heard of Friendswood or League City?
Never. Is it in Texas?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it is. I think it might be down in the Metroplex, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Lindsay, it was all great. The chocolate soiree is fantastic. It's one of my favorite events in Wichita Falls every year. I mean, the Dallas String Quartet, the food is great, the atmosphere is great. My wife loves to go because she can get dressed up. It's one of the few things she can get dressed up for in Wichita Falls, and very, very, very much fun. We loved it. So I didn't have one I didn't like. I can tell you that much, chocolate-wise. Oh, okay. So that's down near Houston. Could be some severe weather down your way tomorrow afternoon. So that's for our people down in Houston. Could be some severe weather there tomorrow afternoon. Mostly wind. With a line of thunderstorms, but there could be some tornadoes too in that area maybe tomorrow afternoon. Doesn't look significant, but there could be a couple spin-ups down that way, so keep that in mind. All right, so I got to go get ready for the newscast. I still got to put my shirt and put my suit on and whatnot. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'll be looking for a little updated video later. It won't be live. It'll be just an updated video I'll post later on this evening on my TikTok page.